You know, I just realized that I'm getting so used to imagining students here. By the way, guys, remember I'm completely alone. This is a huge school, and I'm alone here. It's a little bit lonesome and creepy. Okay, but that's not the point. I just realized in the last video that I'm so used to imagining students here that I'm even asking, like, you guys, problems, people? It's as if you could answer me, right? But you can like comment stuff, right? And then I will try to answer as soon as I can. Okay. One more thing I realized I had forgotten in the other videos is I forgot to get my vest here. I must see a person. It's very important for you guys to know that. Because you see rules. Okay, that's not the point. The point is, let's talk about passive voice, okay? People, using the grammar classification, I think many people have problem with passive voice because they think passive voice is a tense and not a voice. And it's not because they don't know how to read passive voice and then they read voice as tense, right? But it's because we never think about that. What is a tense and what is a voice? Well, I'm going to simplify things here. A tense, you know, is like present, past, future, present perfect continuous, past perfect, things like that. If you have any doubts, just go back to some videos. So, I've recorded one video for each verbal tense. In a voice, guys, again, simplifying, the point of a voice is, a voice can be in the present, in the past, in the future, you know, whatever you want, okay? Again, depending on the voice. So, that means that the kind of trouble people have with passive voice comes from the fact that they think passive voice is just the past because, you know, they see something like this. The paper was written, okay? They know we have to use the third form. But they have a problem when, for example, let's imagine papers are written every day. Many people go like, the papers were written, are right, you know, and then they start a whole confusion there, right? By the way, guys, before I forget, remember, we don't say written because we have a double T here. Remember the magic E rule. If you have problems with the magic E, go to one of the videos I've recorded called Magic E. Okay, the paper was written. So the point is, passive voice, guys, is verb to be plus the third form of a verb, which is, of course, the past participle of a verb. And guys, you can do whatever you want with this verb to be. The verb to be is yours, guys, in the construction, okay? What you can't decide on what to do with is this part here, okay? If you keep that in mind, guys, you will stop confusing and, you know, making things like the classroom will clean, or the classroom was clean, you know, if you keep this in mind. So let's put that in practice. I can put the verb in the past, saying the classroom was cleaned yesterday. I can put it in the present. The classroom is cleaned every day. I can say in the future, the classroom will be cleaned tomorrow, okay? And you could go further. You could say should be cleaned, can be cleaned, might be cleaned. It doesn't matter, all right? You just have to remember that this is yours, This belongs to verb to be, and verb to be always, in passive voice, verb to be always wants its verbs to be in the third form. Okay? Let's get some practice here. Let's imagine, guys, somebody will deliver a pizza in my house. In 30 minutes, how can you say that sentence? Pause the video and try to do it. No, you didn't pause the video. Okay, the pizza will be delivered in 30 minutes. Okay? Of course, has this ever happened to you guys? You order a pizza, you're very hungry, and after 40 minutes you are very angry, because of course when you are hungry you get angrier and angrier more easily, and then you call the pizza place and then they say that they don't have your order. Has that ever happened to you? It's horrible, but that's not the point. The point is, you should try, guys, to develop this idea of passive voice. You should try to make your sentences in the present, in the past, in the future, in the present perfect, Let's try in the present perfect, which is a little bit harder, okay? Let's imagine the cat has been killed by... Now, the cat has been killed, period. We don't know who killed the cat, okay? And then some people get confused. They say, why have? Because, isn't it like verb to be and it's simple, guys. You're just conjugating verb to be. And it happens that it's a present perfect. We don't know when the cat was killed. So, the cat has been, and this part is fixed. Because then some people start thinking, well, but after been, so present perfect continues? No, right? Now let's talk about when to use passive voice. Guys, I have to tell you that passive voice is less used than in English than in Portuguese. What do I mean by that? In Portuguese, mainly when we're talking about formal contexts, we love to use passive voice all the time. Everything is passive voice. In English, guys, there is a tendency in the academy not to use it so much. It's not, of course, it's not that you can't use, it's not that it's not nice to use, but if you can make a sentence direct and simple, they think it's too much like verbosity. You just want to show you're smart by using passive voice all the time. But of course, passive voice is unavoidable when you don't know who did the action of a sentence, okay? By the way, guys, that's why passive voice exists, when you don't know who did the action of a sentence, okay? Active voice, let's call a regular voice. You always have subject, verb, object, okay? The mouse, the buffed mouse, a mouse who went to the gym, like, the mouse killed the cat. That's the regular way we speak all the time. I read a book yesterday. I gave Julia a door, This is the way we normally speak. When we use passive voice, we get the object. Remember, right? The mouse killed the cat. I get the object and put it before. But of course you can't just put the object before, guys, without expecting any consequence, because, then it would be like, the cat killed the mouse. It's a perfect sentence, but I inverted the order there, Because of that, I need to alert people that I'm inverting the natural order of things. I have to alert people that this is a perversion, right? So that's why I need verb to be plus the third form. So you get the object, the cat, and then we have the verb. was killed. This is why passive voice originally exists. Of course, then sometimes I want to sound fancy and I also want to say, I can, right, say who killed the cat. So I say by, and then I say the subject of the sentence. This is the subject of the sentence. I don't know why I drew this little fellow here. It's a mouse, right? So the cat was killed. And if I want, by the mouse. Okay? Another very important case, we use passive voice. You know, guys, when we want to attenuate the impact of our sentence. Let's imagine you have an employee, and your employee is called, I don't know, Joshua, all right? And Joshua has been committing many mistakes, and you want to say, Joshua, if you commit one more mistake, I'm going to fire you. But you know, it's too impacting, too aggressive to look at him and say, I'm going to fire you, Joshua, all right? So you make it less personal. You hide the subject, which is you, all right? You're going to say, look, Joshua, instead of you have been committing too many mistakes, you say, look, again, you have been committing too many mistakes. I say, look, Joshua, many mistakes have been committed here at the company. And I'm sorry to say, but instead of I will fire you, you are going to be fired if things don't get changed. Okay?